How to reverse engineer any goal. What's going on, Secoya Nation? This is Dr. Schilling bringing you today's daily insights. And since we're in the season of people thinking about resolutions, planning resolutions, thinking about goals, we talked about goals last night and how to do daily resolutions instead of yearly resolutions. I thought today would be a good idea to discuss how to reverse engineer a goal so that you can have a plan, because a lot of people get excited about something and say, I'm going to do it. And then guess what? Then they get lost in the how. So if you can avoid getting lost in the how and just do daily steps every day, then you can get anything accomplished. Doesn't matter what your time horizon is. So let's take some examples. For instance, let's say you wanted to run a marathon next year, and so you had to plan out your path. So let's just say the first 3 weeks you ran 1 to 2 miles a day, and then each month after that you increased and you had some long days each week. Let's say 3 days a week you had an 8-mile run or 6-mile run, depending on what your mileage is. And then you're going to slowly add mileage each month and each day, and make sure you give yourself time off. That's one way to reverse engineer a marathon goal. Now, I don't recommend you run a marathon because it's been proven you have cardiac damage after doing a marathon, but anyway, if that's your jam, go for it. Let's think about this. If you wanted to save $100,000, you would have to save something to the extent of $800 a month if you wanted to do that over 5 years, or over 10 years, excuse me. So if you did save $800 a month over 10 years, you'd have $100,000 to invest in something for yourself, or a big purchase, or like real estate or something like that. If you want to do it in 5 years, you would have to save $1,600. So that's one. Okay. So then you say, okay, all right, if I didn't need to do that every month, then I could break it out in a number of days, and maybe I could skip a latte, maybe I could skip eating out for lunch, whatever it might be. So that's another way to do that. Let's say you want to write a book. A lot of people have ideas, stories they want to share. Everybody's got a story they can share. So an example of writing a book would be like, let's say I wanted to write a 400-page book in a year, which might take you longer than that, but let's just say it was your goal. Then you have to write about 1.1 pages a day over 365 days for you to actually write a 400-page book in a year. So these are just 3 easy examples. Okay, let's say I wanted to lose weight, and let's say I found myself eating more than I necessarily needed to. You know, the three good rules is eat breakfast like a king, eat lunch like a prince, and then eat dinner like a pauper, like a beggar. So you have very little to eat at dinner, you have more to eat at lunch, and the most to eat at breakfast. That's a way to engineer your consumption habits, so you make sure you don't overburden yourself. You're actually going to improve your sleep and stuff like that too. But if I wanted to lose weight, I would want to gain muscle. I would want to change my habits. I would say, I'm going to take this bag of chips, I'm going to stop buying chips, I'm going to start buying carrots, as an example. Not that carrots are good for you, just an example. Because a pound of potato chips is not a pound of carrots. You find a dramatically different change in your body and your health and your vitality by eating a pound of carrots versus a pound of potato chips. So these are just easy examples that you can take and then say, okay, what is it that I want to accomplish? And then project it out to your timeline and when you want to get it done by. And then you start backing up and saying, okay, what do I need to do in the first month, the second month, third month, or first day, second day, third day, whatever it is. And then you can say, make it down into smaller bite-sized chunks, which makes it much more accessible. When you can break down a goal by reverse engineering it, like I'm going out 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 3 days, 9 days, 15 days, I'm doing a 10-day detox, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. Just figure out what your date is and then start breaking it down into smaller chunks so you can do the easy things and say, look, I am going to eat this these days, and I'm going to plan out my meals and stuff like that. And if you don't know, I mean, good Lord, go on Pinterest and find recipes for food if you have trouble with that. There's like all these meal plans now. You can order stuff to get delivered to your house. There's imperfect produce. There's CSAs for meat and for vegetables. There's all kinds of stuff. So if you need help with this, let us know. Curtis is a great coach. We have great coaches on every one of our care coordinators. So if you understand that, you can then get the tools, even if you don't have them. We'll help you break it down. It's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of creative thinking. And when there's commitment, and the creativity will follow. Okay? So just commit to something and then try to find resources from there, because as soon as you commit, then your creative juices will flow, and you can find the people and the mentors and the guides and whatever else you need in order to accomplish your goal. So start with your goal in mind and reverse engineer it step by step, just like we talked about here. And if you need help along the way, let us know. We're happy to do so. Otherwise, Happy New Year to all of you, and we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Bye.